Good afternoon to all my wonderful viewers out there. Welcome back to another episode of our podcast series, our weekly podcast series, Sneakers and Stuff, where we talk about the latest sneaker releases, recent sneaker releases, latest streetwear releases, and upcoming streetwear releases, and just everything to do with fashion, sneakers, jewelry, everything like that. It's all covered here. In today's episode, episode 8, we're going to be covering some big topics. Some topics like Nike is suing Warren Lotas for his, some people call fake, some people call homage Nike. Well, it's not even Nike, is it? His Dunk Lows. We're going to be covering that Jeff Hamilton is releasing jackets again. And also that we're getting a sneaker documentary about the Dunks. Yes, documentary about sneakers. It has potential. It has potential. Anyway, we're going to be covering those topics and more in today's episode. It's good to be back. It is good to be back to do episode 8. Mainly because, what's the date today? The date is the 22nd. And, well, as you can see at the top of my page there, I've written that I wrote this episode on the 18th. So just 4 days late. It's totally fine. It's all right. I did the first segment, Sunday's Best Dressed, on Sunday. So, I mean, I feel like I've redeemed myself a little bit. But some of the information will be out of date. Well, not necessarily out of date, but some of the stuff may have been released by then. So, unfortunately, some of the upcoming releases may not be so upcoming anymore. But you know what? I'm just happy that we're here to be able to record it. I do need to start doing these on Sunday again though, because next week there is no day off. Like, I will be working every single day. So if I don't do it on Sunday, I'm not going to have time to do it during the week. So the pressure is on. The pressure is on. So let's push out this episode 8 and then hopefully on Sunday I can get episode 9 out on the Sunday. We're just going to have to see. But as always, in all of our, in our recent podcast episodes, we do different segments in the podcast just to break it down a little bit. In today's episode, episode 8, we will be doing this episode in 8 segments, the normal 8. To start it off with, we have segment 1, which is Sunday's Best Dressed, a little bit of the podcast where I dedicate to you guys sending in your outfits and me showcasing them on the podcast. We haven't had any fan submissions yet. Oh well, that's okay. I still dress up for Sunday's Best Dress and, get an outfit together and stuff like that. So we have that for today. Segment 2 is Heat on My Feet, the segment of the podcast where I will dedicate a little bit of time for me talking about a sneaker that I have recently been enjoying. We have then, after that, segment 3, Recent Pickups, the section of the podcast where I dedicate some time to talking about my recent pickups. Moving on, we have then at segment 4, recent releases. The segment of the podcast where I talk about the recent releases in the streetwear, fashion, sneaker, and jewelry world that has happened over the past week or so. Moving on, we have section 5, which is streetwear and fashion news and rumors. So that's latest images posted by big name brands about the latest collections, news about people becoming creative directors of said brands and stuff like that, and also lookbooks and stuff that I think you guys should put a pin in and keep your eyes and ears out for when that collection actually drops, as there are some awesome pieces being showcased in the lookbook there. Moving on, we have section 6, which is sneaker news and rumors, where we'll talk about leaks, rumored releases that are going to happen in like 12 months time, things like that. Then section 7, upcoming streetwear and fashion releases, where we'll talk about the latest upcoming streetwear and fashion releases. And then obviously it's section 8, if we've done the streetwear and fashion releases that are upcoming, we gotta do this upcoming sneaker releases for section 8. That is our 8 sections there, guys. So now that you have the summary of that, we'll move on now and head on over to section 1, Sunday's Best Dressed. Now, if you guys want to feature in this, post a photo of your outfit to Instagram, forward it to me in my DMs, hashtag Sunday's Best Dressed, break down the outfit if you want, and you can feature in the podcast as well on the next episode. But I will be dressing up, well, I already have because I recorded it on the 18th. There will be an outfit that I will showcase to you guys there. Let's head on over and check out Sunday's Best Dressed. And for this week, guys, I've gone with a very basic outfit. Why? Well, because this week I wanted to showcase a Jeff Hamilton jacket in Sunday's Best Dressed, because we're talking about Jeff Hamilton as one of our highlights of this episode. I went with black Levi's 501s, Chuck 70 highs, and a Champion reverse weave black hoodie, and then I wanted all the focus to be on this Jeff Hamilton jacket. The Hardwood Classics patch on the back, all the little patches on the arms, everything like that. I wanted that to be the talking point and that to be where all the attention is drawn. It's a really unique jacket. We unboxed it on the channel. The button closure at the front done in twos is a really unique system, and I just, wanted to showcase it to you guys because, you know, I love my Jeff Hamilton jackets. If we're gonna talk about Jeff Hamilton, well, I had to wear one today. It's, an awesome jacket, and that is gonna be my Sunday's Best Dressed for this week. There you go, guys. That was Sunday's Best Dressed. If you want a feature in it, as I always say, just forward me your Instagram fit pics and hashtag Sunday's Best Dressed, and you can definitely feature in this episode if you want some, I don't know, YouTube clout or something. or if you just want to feature in the podcast. So now we'll move on to the second section of the podcast, which is Heat on My Feet. And this week, it is going to go to my first ever Air Jordan 1 High OG retro that I picked up, which is this little shoe here. I don't know if you guys know the colorway. If you're a big fan of sneakers, you'll know the colorway, or a big fan of Air Jordan 1s, you'll know the colorway. This is the Air Jordan 1 High UNC, or if you expand it out a little bit, the Air Jordan 1 High University of North Carolina. Because Michael Jordan went to the University of North Carolina, and this is the school's colors. This very, very light blue and white. It's a two-tone Jordan 1, a very nice Jordan 1. It's got a little bit of a story about it actually on how I picked it up. So as I mentioned, back in like 2014 or 2015 is when I got into sneakers. I've talked about that a lot on the channel. And I bought my first ever Air Jordan 1, which is this disgusting all red elephant print Air Jordan 1 High, and on that I was like, damn, this shoe's amazing. I want to pick up more colors of this shoe. What colorways are available? And at that time, from my memory, GOAT wasn't a thing back in 2015, and StockX was relatively new. I can't even remember the online platforms back in 2015. Like, where did I go to buy sneakers back then? I remember when GOAT got introduced and it was like a huge thing. We're all like, oh my god. But yeah, I can't remember the online platforms back then. But regardless, I didn't actually buy them from a secondhand source. I bought them from a store. I know. Unheard of again in 2020, buying Jordan 1s from a store at retail. Yeah, but in 2015 it was actually possible. So as I mentioned, I bought my first pair, which is absolutely disgusting. I never wear them anymore. And I was on the hunt for a second colorway. I just simply looked up Air Jordan 1 High, size 17, because I needed a size 17. And I landed on Eastbay. Eastbay is an American sportswear store that sells Jordans, apparel, everything like that. I landed on their store, and they had a Jordan 1 available, which was the UNC ones. And surprisingly, the only sizes available or that were left back in 2015 was a size 17 or 18. Now, that's surprising today because in 2020, all the sizes would sell out. But back then, that was very, very common. And it was actually on sale as well. That was like the big shock. That just is unheard of in 2020. The Air Jordan 1 High OG UNCs were on sale, and they were available in two sizes. Granted, it was a size 17 or 18, but I was super happy because it was a size that I could actually buy. So I picked up from Eastbay these shoes for like 115 USD, something around there. I honestly can't remember the price. It was 5 years ago. And I'm still like, that just doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right in 2020 for me to be able to say that. But yeah, I picked these up from Eastbay at a discounted price. Although when it was shipping to Australia, the price came closer to retail, but still even at retail is a big thing. And I've just, recently been absolutely loving this sneaker. Like, I was so happy that I could pick it up at below retail. From Eastbay back in the day. And again, I didn't know the history that this was like Michael Jordan's, university's colors and stuff. I was just like, you know what? this blue, this white, this looks dope, bro. I'm gonna buy this. And then afterwards I learned a little bit about the sneaker. But yeah, recently I've really been enjoying this sneaker. It is so bright. I'm so glad that with a light on, the camera can capture this, because it is so bright. If you have not seen the UNCs in person, get ready for that, because they are such a bright sneaker. This blue is the lightest blue you'll probably ever see on leather sneakers. It's a lovely colorway. The leather quality and the padding for 2015, absolutely insane. They're really up there as a really good retro. I think they're also the only higher G retro of the UNCs, or the only retro of the UNC ones ever, off the top of my head. I don't think they've ever retroed the UNC 1 highs in OG branding, at least before. I'd have to look into that again. I'm a little bit shaky on my retros and how many they've done, but yeah, I've recently been enjoying the shoe. Amazing quality. For 2015, it's absolutely amazing. Can't believe I managed to pick it up for below retail. And for this week, it's going to be my heat on my feet, or at least not when I'm showcasing to you on the camera. But yeah, it's an amazing shoe. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions, guys. Do you love the UNCs? Would you prefer them with blue laces, or are you more of a white laces one? I initially went with blue laces, but I changed it back to white because the white just looks so much better. But let me know your thoughts and opinions on the UNCs, and also what your heat on your feet this week is. What's a recent retro or a sneaker that you have been enjoying over the past week or so? Let me know. Let me know in that comment section below. But we'll move on now to section 3, which is my recent pickups. Now, unfortunately, in section 3 today, in recent pickups, there isn't anything. I do have some things still on the way. Some things are stuck in Hong Kong at the moment and they're not moving. I don't know what that's all about, but I'm definitely gonna consider sending some messages out over the next couple days to be like, hey, what's going on? But yeah, nothing that I've bought has arrived, unfortunately. But there was also some speculation from me that I was gonna pick up the London hoodie from Palace's third week of their winter 2020 collection. Yes, guys, I didn't do a copped or dropped video on the Saturday about it, or since then, to be honest. Yeah. I'm very hit or miss on picking up anything at the moment. I'm kind of saving up for like a couple pieces that are going to release later on in Supreme season. Interested in the Bogo. A mate of mine has a Bogo that he wants to sell me, and I'm interested in that as well. And I mean, the main thing I'm interested in is the Tri-Ripper Tri-Ferg hoodie from this season, from Palace's winter season. So there is a couple pieces I am looking out there for, and I'm also interested in holding onto some cash just to, like, if something comes up on Grailed and I'm just like, damn, that's a good price, I've wanted that for ages, I can pick it up, you know? Like, I don't want to keep picking up from the latest weeks, lowering my cash reserve, and then something really good like props up out of nowhere on Grailed, and then because I've spent all my cash on all the recent pickups, I'm unable to buy it. So that's why I've been holding back, you know, been stockpiling a little bit, waiting until something really good comes along and then picking that up. So I've held back on the London hoodie, and I'm gonna hold back on the Chore jacket that's releasing this Friday in Palace's fourth week, which we've just recently covered in a drop list video. So no recent pickups as of yet. As I've mentioned though, I do have things on their way. When they'll get here, who knows whenever that'll happen. I'll definitely unbox them on the channel, and then they will feature in section 3 in the, you know, in the podcast episode after I unbox them. But yeah, nothing this week as well, same as last week. So bit of a bummer, but you can't always have stuff coming in. We'll move on to section 4 of the podcast, which is the recent releases that have happened over the past week. Section 4, guys, recent releases. Let's kick it off by talking about Kit's recent Monday program, and no, it's not the BMW one that we covered very recently. Remember, this was written on the 18th, guys. It is the Burrows tea capsule. This is the 5 Burrows tea capsule that released on Monday, the 12th of October. A solid little capsule with some graphic tees of the 5 boroughs of New York, which, let me see if I can recite them again. Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, the island of Staten, and oh my god, I've forgotten them. They did graphic tees of landmarks of all of those, and they released them on Monday, October 12th. Very solid little capsule there. Let me know if you guys picked up anything from that little capsule. Moving on, we have on October 15th, we got Supreme releasing week 8 of their Fall Winter 2020 collection. A lot released in that week. We got Lee Scratch Perry pieces. They were these like crazy, all over like graffiti styled. It was a lot of pieces actually. It was a denim jacket, it was a hoodie, it was a rayon shirt. There was like heaps of stuff. My favorite pieces were the denim jacket and the hoodie. But yeah, it was actually really, really cool. On top of that, in that week, we got the Nike Air Max Plus TNs that released. Only 2 out of the 3 colorways released though. There was the green and the black colorway. The white colorway has been delayed till November. But yeah, we got the first 2 colorways there. I was not a fan. I'm not a fan of the silhouette. The silhouette is not my vibe. If you like it, totally fair enough. Good on you. I can't do it though. I look at that silhouette and I'm like, it's just not my vibe. It's just not my thing. So not for me. But yeah, that released in week 8 on October 15th. Next, on October 16th, we had week 3 of Palace's Winter 2020 collection. That's where we got the London hoodie, the hoodie that I talked about that I was like interested in, but I ended up not going with. We also got the Pillars jersey, which was pretty iconic. That was the piece with the pillars and all over prints all over it. We didn't get, however, the Palace Story t-shirt. That was the t-shirt with Jackie Chan on it. According to the sources that I used in my week 3 drop list video, they said that was dropping this week, but it didn't drop that week. So, don't know. Guess we're gonna have to wait and see to see if it releases later on in the season, but everything else that I mentioned did release, and it released on October 16th. Next, we actually had a bit of a, how do I put it, under the radar sneaker release. We had Fleur collaborating with Converse on 2 new colorways of their Giano. Now this is their model that's exclusive to Converse and Fleur. Like, it's not a model that Converse has done before, and normally Fleur just does colorways of like already established Converse shoes. This shoe, however, is the first shoe they've done like together. It released in 2 new colorways, a lavender colorway, which is a very nice soft purple, obviously, because it's a lavender colorway. And then we also got an evergreen, mix between light and dark green there. They're solid. The actual model, though, isn't for me. It's a bit too bulky, a bit too big. It just, yeah, I don't think it would be something that I would rock in my outfits, but I can definitely see some people that would really, really get around it and it would really work for their aesthetic. It wasn't for me. If you're interested in either of the colorways, they're released for $130 on October 15th, but I don't know if they're still going to be available in any places that would have stocked them. Next, we're going to move on to a recycled shoe. A shoe made out of recycled materials. Next, we have the Nike SB Dunk Low Crater. Now this released on October 17th. This released for $100. It is Nike continuing on with their program of Crater shoes made of recycled materials there. They do this crazy looking midsole where there's like bits of plastic and stuff chucked into it. It does look a little bit odd and it's not really my thing, but there are some nice Crater shoes they have done. And of course, with 2020 being the year of the dunk and the year of cream and white shoes and all that type of stuff, I could see this releasing this year, and it did. October 17th, $100. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on the colorway. I thought it was alright, but I suppose it's hard to do colorways with dyes when the shoe's meant to represent like recycled materials. Like, you can't really use dyes because dyes, depending on the dye, can be quite bad for the environment. So I can understand why the color choices were made here, but let me know how you feel about the Crater dunks in that comment section below. Next, we're moving on to a sneaker pack. One that we actually talked about in episode 7 that I kind of dunked on a little bit, but I still feel the same way about it. I'm not going to change my opinion on it. What we got was the Chase the Spark collection between Ninja and Adidas. This retailed for around about 150 to 160 USD. We got a bunch of night joggers, and I think it was ZX Torsions. Yes, it was. They released for 150 to 160 USD. I think the silhouette and the colorways are really ugly. I don't know why Ninja's choosing these shoes with a collaboration with Adidas. If I was with them, I would obviously have it much different, but yeah, just such ugly models. I'm sorry, I can't do running shoes. Like, I can understand running shoes if you're running, or like if what you're into was running, but you're playing video games. So I can imagine what you're into is casual shoes. I don't know. It just seems really weird to me. Either way, the pack released for 150 to 160 USD depending on the model, and it released on October. I didn't write down the date, but it was October 14th, I think it was. Moving on, we had an Air Jordan 1 release. It was a women's exclusive. We talked about it in the last episode. It was the Air Jordan 1 Lucky Greens in the women's sizing. This released on October 14th/15th, depending on the stockist that you bought it from, for 170 USD. I'm not a huge fan of the color palette of this one, like the green and... yeah, it's not a nice color palette. It's not something I would wear, but I understand it, like Lucky Green. Oh my god. Not for me though. I'll stick with my my color palettes up here, thanks. I'm all good. But yeah, if you're interested in it, it'll probably be totally sold out, but it released on October 14th, 15th, depending on the store, for 170 US dollars there. Next, we had our final release in a lot of stockists of the Union x Jordan brand collaboration, the recent 2021 anyway. This released on October 16th, ranging from 150 to 250 USD, depending on the clothing, the shoes, depending on what you got. They're released everywhere. All the like tier 0 stockists had it. We've done a video on it before. We talked about the clothing and the sneakers. Personally, the 4s are okay. They're warming up on me now, but I would definitely have them unstitched. The clothing is nice. We talked about it in separate videos, but yeah, it released on October 16th, guys. Let me know if you guys managed to pick up any of the Union Jordan apparel there. Now, someone who is double dipping this week, we have Union and... well, sorry, Union is the brand that is double dipping. We have Union and Converse collaborating again. They collaborated on October 13th, and they did a Chuck Taylor high. This one went under the radar because everyone was focusing on the Jordan brand collaboration, obviously because they wanted to resell it or whatever, but they also collaborated with Converse, and as I said, it went under the radar. That's a nice little Chuck 70, nothing too crazy here. It released for 100 USD on Converse's web store on October 13th. And last but not least, for our final recent release, we have Bape and Alpha Industries. They collaborated on October 17th, which was the Saturday from memory. They released a bunch of bomber jackets. One of them looked alright, but I don't know, man. There are other brands that are collaborating with Alpha Industries these days that I would be more keen on, and there are better bomber jackets out there. The one that had all the Bape motifs on it was kind of cool. I was like, yeah, that's not too bad, but yeah, the one with the camo print all over it, I was not feeling. That was yeah, not my vibe. But that's it. That's it, guys. That is everything I had to discuss in section 4, which was recent releases. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions on any of the recent releases that we just discussed there, if you picked them up or not. We'll now move on to streetwear, fashion, news, and rumors, and discuss everything that we have in that section there. Section 5, guys, streetwear and fashion news and rumors. So this is the latest news, the latest rumors, and the latest lookbook collection, lookbooks for collections that you guys definitely need to save and come back to later when the collection actually releases. The first thing that we're going to be talking about is actually a collection that I think you should definitely put a pin in. It has actually released now. I mean, since recording this, it has now released. But definitely keep your eyes and ears out for where it's being stocked. It's obviously stocked on the brand's main page. What collection am I referring to? It's the Huff Holiday 2020 collection. Yes, they're doing a series of graphic tees, graphic hoodies, all that good stuff. And there were some that were just like really sticking out to me that I thought, you know what? Huff doesn't get enough recognition on YouTube. It does among skaters, but it doesn't get enough recognition on YouTube as something beyond a skating brand. I think you guys should check out Huff, and with the unfortunate news that we've gotten in 2020, maybe Huff deserves a little bit of love, you know? But yeah, the Holiday 2020 collection, the hoodies, definitely go check those out because there were some awesome graphics done in some hoodies that you guys might actually enjoy there. Now, moving on to one of the big pieces of news that we got to talk about, one that I'm obviously very excited to talk about, is that Jeff Hamilton has returned. We don't know if it's a one-off. He might return and then never come back, but he looks like he's returned and potentially is here to stay. But what has happened is for the NBA Finals, for the 2020 championship, we got Jeff Hamilton, I can't even say it, Jeff Hamilton jackets to celebrate the 2020 finals. It's It's crazy. The jackets are absolutely wild. He's only showcased one of them fully made and, you know, done like a bunch of photos of it inside and out. The rest of them have like graphic art drawings of what they look like, so you don't get a real good idea on what they look like, but there are a lot of them. They're available for pre-order on his website. He now has a website, so that's why I'm like, is he back for like forever or for a while? Because he has a website now. He also has an Instagram page dedicated to his jackets, so I'm like, are you here to stay? Like, are you here to come back? As you guys know, I'm a huge Jeff Hamilton fan. I own like numerous jackets of his, and I have them all stashed away. I love wearing them. I wore one of them for Sunday's best dress today. Honestly, look, I would love the leather jacket that he has done for the NBA 2020 championships, but it's $5,000. $5,000 USD, and that's a tad pricey. I unfortunately don't make that kind of money. I would love to make that kind of money to be able to buy one of those jackets, but unfortunately I do not make that kind of money. There are other options for broke boys. There is a vegan option, so it's still all leather, but it's faux leather, you know, it's vegan leather, but it'll still be done, I assume, to the same high quality standard that Jeff Hamilton has his, you know, non-vegan one. That one is $1,000 US, and that's actually almost maybe like, I'm actually like, you know what? Maybe the vegan one's worth it. You know, maybe I should go for the vegan one because it's literally 1/5 of the price. So look, save all those cows' lives and save my wallet. The vegan one is actually kind of tempting. The only thing is that we haven't seen it in real life yet. It's still that 3D image. There's also some wool and leather ones being done for a little bit less for $750. Now they're the ones that I have in my wardrobe. They're the ones that are primarily wool with leather applique pieces on them. So you won't get a lot of leather on them, but I mean, to go from $5,000 to $750, it's a big difference. So maybe, you know, again, unfortunately it's only 3D images, but if he does do some images of the vegan one and the wool and leather one, I would be interested because I'd love to see how they turn out. But I'm just super happy to report that Jeff Hamilton is back and he is doing more releases. I'm happy to see that it's for the NBA 2020 championships, but we're just gonna have to see if he continues onwards. Like, is he only doing it for the NBA? Or is he coming back in full force and doing it for all the other American sporting leagues? I have no idea. We're just gonna have to wait and see, guys. But very exciting stuff. I'll showcase an image of the leather one that we've got up on the screen now for you guys. Do you like it? And would you wear something like this? Would you wear the 2020 championship jacket? Let me know, because I think it's amazing. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions on it down in that comment section below. Moving to the streetwear world, we have Supreme is allegedly doing another box logo tee this season. Not really, you know, a shocker, because we've got this long sleeve Bogo tee that was released this season that wasn't showcased in the lookbook at all. But in the lookbook, we got the cross Bogo showcased to us in a hoodie version. Now, I'm going to assume that Supreme is also going to do a t-shirt version, and there are some rumors going around that there is going to be a t-shirt version of that cross Bogo that we saw in the lookbook. It's allegedly going to release around December, which is also the estimated time for when the actual Bogo is going to release, sometime in December, which is one of the reasons why I'm saving up my money now, because I'm like, you know what, I kind of want the grey and red one that was showcased in the lookbook. Extra large if anyone's a plug. You know, so yeah, we'll just have to wait and see, but apparently we are getting t-shirt versions of it, guys, so stay tuned. Maybe you prefer the t-shirt versions. Let me know, would you prefer the hoodie version of the cross Bogo or a t-shirt version? Let me know in that comment section below. And moving on, we've mentioned this before in a previous episode, and I'd said, everyone, pay attention to it, it's big news. Matthew M. Williams' Givenchy Spring Summer 2021 collection, you know, Matthew M. Williams, Mr., you know, A-Leak Studios, wherever the necklace is, there it is. His first collection that he did with Givenchy, we talked about the images of it being showcased to us. but now he's actually given some of it out to famous celebrities, so we get to have a look of it on Body and on, you know, on some celebrities that we know. We got Playboy Cardi showcasing some of it, and I gotta say, it looks pretty damn steezy on Cardi. It looks pretty sick. I noticed the necklace first off, and I was like, ooh, maybe I need to pick up some of that, although I don't know how expensive it is. It's probably going to be thousands of dollars, and I'm going to be like, I'm going to stick to A-Links for a moment. We also saw Kendall Jenner rocking it. She was rocking a dress of it, and also some jewelry, I think. A handbag as well, I think, from memory. That was quite interesting. I thought, wow, there we go. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty goddamn good. And last but not least, we had La Flame, Mr. Travis Scott, rocking it with Kylie. He was rocking some of it, she was rocking some of it. It's that photo where they're together. Everyone was blown away because they're like, oh my god, it's a photo of them together again. Oh my god, that's so amazing. I was like, I literally don't care. That is Matthew M. Williams' latest Givenchy collection. Like, everyone's making this big deal about their relationship, and I'm just like, let's look at the clothes. But yeah, they were rocking it, and it was goddamn sick, I tell you. I'm keen for it. I'm keen to see what actually releases next year in spring summer of 2021. Matthew M. Williams is going to surprise us all, guys. But that is it. That is our last bit of streetwear and fashion news or rumors that we have for section 5. So we'll move on now to sneaker news and rumors and see what's going on in the sneaker world. Now, section 6. Sneaker news and rumors. To start it off with, a little bit of sneaker news. Now, this is a little bit dated. As I said, it was written on the 18th of the 10th, 2020. It's now the 22nd. We have that the Nike Dunk is getting a documentary, and now it has got its first episode, which is actually quite interesting, I gotta say. So initially, if I actually did this episode on Sunday, I would be super skeptical on, you know, how this was gonna come out. But Nike has actually done a really good job with this. Episode 1 consists of just talking about how the Dunk was formed. It's a combination of 3 iconic basketball shoes in the 80s. They mentioned the Nike Terminators, which I absolutely love. I would love to see a retro of those. And it also mentions the Be True to Your School pack, which we always reference on the channel when we talk about the OG colorways of the Dunks. So I think it's sick. Episode 1 was very well done. They're only 5-minute episodes, so head over to Nike's store page and you can actually watch them. What I would love to see from this is that I would love to see not just the Dunk. Like, I get they did the Dunk because, like, 2020, the Dunk, everyone's looking at Dunks. I would love them just to do, like, their everyday shoes, like a breakdown, like a 6-part series of each of these shoes. You know, do shoes that are in the archives that we never see anymore, like the Nike Terminator. Like, I think that's a sick model that we never hear of anymore. It's an 80s basketball shoe that you can't even buy anymore. They haven't retroed it for ages. So, you know, I would love to see some, like, further episodes or further series on different models. Like, I understand that they did the Dunk because the Dunk is at its height of popularity for this era, but I just want some love to the other models, you know? Like, it would be awesome to see love to the other models, and maybe, who knows, a Jordan series as well. That would be really cool. But yeah, no, that's the first bit of sneaker news that we have, is that the Dunks are getting a documentary series. It's a 6-part series. It looks like it's 5 minutes an episode, and I gotta say, I was pretty happy with episode 1, guys. Definitely go check out episode 1. Okay, next we got to talk about the big news. The news that, yeah, has stirred up a lot of controversy this week. We have that Nike has sued Warren Lotas for his Dunks. We've talked about them on the channel many, many times. It's so divided in the community, but like, I have mixed opinions on, or mixed feelings on why it's so divided in the first place anyway. So if you don't know, Warren Lotas has been releasing a couple of Dunks over the past like 6 months. Well, 6 to 12 months, but more focused in the last 6 months, he's released the majority of them. They've all been based off iconic Dunk models that have released over the past couple decades. They're so similar. The only things that are different is that they're not made in a Nike factory. They're made with different materials, and they obviously feature Warren Lotas branding instead of Nike branding. The outsoles are a different pattern. The upper is constructed differently because it's not a Nike shoe, but it has the swoosh. It has the same paneling, so they do look very, very similar. Nike over the past week has now asked Warren Lotas to cease. It's so far it looks like a cease and desist. So far it looks like a stop what you're doing. Everything that you have of what you're doing, send to us and cease production of everything. I think Warren is still going to get the pairs that he said that he was going to get out to everyone, but I feel bad for Warren. I know this. It's such a weird conversation to have. So I mean, these homage sneakers, these sneakers that are paying tribute to iconic models and stuff like that, they've been around for decades. They've been around for ages. Over the past like 2 to 3 years, they've spiked in popularity. You know, all the other times that these shoes have been made, the sneaker community has never had issues with them. Nike has never had issues. Really, the ones that have been released in the past don't really differ too much from what Warren's doing to the Nike Dunk silhouette. They changed the branding a little bit, they changed the materials. To me, what he's doing isn't too far-fetched from what everyone else is doing, but they want to pin it on Warren, and everyone in the comment section of all of his posts are hating on him. I just think that it's if you're gonna hate on Warren, hate on everyone else at the same time. I just feel like it's very directed at Warren from what I can see for no reason. If you guys give me a reason, then I'll be more understanding. If you can tell me why the hate for Warren is more granted than the hate for everyone else that's doing pairs like this, let me know in that comment section below, because maybe I'm missing out on something. That could totally be the case. But I'm just a little bit confused because it seems like all the hate's very much directed at Warren, but when someone else does this, it's like fine, or it's more okay. I'm very confused. Is it because he's doing the dunks and everyone else has done like Air Forces and Jordans, but the dunks are like some sacred shoe we can't touch? Or is it because the hype of the dunks is at its all-time high and we're not allowed to touch the dunk because of that? I want to hear from you guys. Do you think Nike sending Warren a cease and desist is granted? Do you think that that's justified? 2, do you feel that Warren gets targeted quite a bit for this hate, I would say? I feel like the second one will agree on more than the first one in the comment section below, but I want to hear from you guys on all your thoughts and opinions on it. But that is another piece of sneaker news. Warren Lotas is getting sued, or at least getting a cease and desist from Nike. Moving on, we have another bit of sneaker news. We have the Off-White Jordan 5s have been delayed. Now, again, this was written on the 18th of the 10th. Originally, they were going to have a worldwide release the 24th of October. They've now been pushed to the 29th. And remember, I would have been reporting this on the 18th, so it would have been quite earlier on. But now it's obviously quite obvious, and you know everyone knows that. But yeah, it's crazy to see that we're getting a second Jordan 5 off-white shoe this year. Initially, I was not a fan of the metallic 5s, the metallic off-white Jordan 5s. Now that I own the OG metallic 5s, I've actually come around them and I've been like, you know what, these actually aren't too bad. Unfortunately, the resale price is not good, so I'm not going to be picking up a pair. But these off-white sale ones, a pretty cool adaptation of the fire red colorway. It's just a flip of the white to sail colors instead. It's not too bad. I actually wouldn't mind picking these up. Will they release in a size 16 or 17? We'll have to find out on October 29th, guys. Let me know if you guys are interested in the sale off-white Jordan 5s. Next, we have quite a big sneaker collaboration that was done and sold as part of an auction. And unfortunately, only the person that spent big dollars on it will be able to pick it up. But Cause teased and then sold at auction a Sakai x Nike pair of LDV waffles that he customized. He customized 2 pairs, I think it is. And then he sold them in this auction. I think it all went to a great cause or a charity cause or something like that. But I thought it was quite interesting because this actually slipped under the radar a little bit. Unless, of course, you're following cause. I feel like if this actually officially released, like if there was a Cause Sakai Nike collaboration, I feel like it would be the most ridiculous, overhyped release, because I feel like everyone would just get around it for the retail price. But Jeez, man, that would be wild. I don't know how much this sold for, guys, but it was up for auction, and some rich person was able to pick it up for whatever price they paid for it. But how do you guys feel about Kors, Sakai, and Nike? Could that be something you could see in the future, or do you think that's a bit excessive and you're like, chill, guys, we don't need that three-way collaboration? Let me know your thoughts and opinions on that in the comment section below, but that is it. That is everything for Section 6 today, guys. So, all we have left is Section 7, which is upcoming streetwear and fashion releases, and then Section 8, which is upcoming sneaker releases. So, let's go see what is releasing soon in the streetwear and fashion world. Okay, guys, moving on to our final section, Section 7, upcoming streetwear and fashion releases. Luckily, I'm recording this just before the first release. It's like releasing in like less than 2 hours, but it's still upcoming. We have the Supreme Week 9 of their Fall/Winter 2020 collection. It's obviously releasing on October 22nd. We've covered it in a drop list video. The clothing, the accessories, they were very expensive. It was an interesting week. Not one that I'll probably remember for the accessories, not the clothing. I can see the clothing going for like under retail in a couple months time on Grailed. Go watch the drop list video, guys, if you are interested in that. But yeah, week 9 of Supreme's Fall/Winter 2020 collection will be dropping on October 22nd. And tomorrow, if you know, our favorite New York skating brand is dropping, means that our favorite British skating brand has to drop. Palace is dropping their 4th week of their Winter 2020 collection. I think it's actually more interesting than Supreme's week this week, actually. Week 4 of Palace's Winter 2020 collection features a Reebok collaboration, which is very nice. It features some really solid pieces of clothing as well. I've already done the drop list video, guys, so if you want to check out the drop list, definitely go check that out. But yeah, I was definitely enjoying Palace's week this week more than Supreme. Next, actually next Monday, we have our favorite German streetwear brand coming back with another release. We have Delschutzer releasing their Wonderland joggers and t-shirt capsule. This is releasing on the 26th. The joggers are going to be cotton sweatpants that are 450 GSM, so mad thick. If you are getting ready for those winter periods, those are some joggers that you want to pick up. It has a nice little Alice in Wonderland graphic embroidered onto it. Or if you're not a fan of sweatpants, you can pick up the t-shirt, which is 200 GSM, with a nice little printed version of it on the chest there. I think the graphic is actually really nice. I would love to see it in a crew neck or hoodie. If you're watching out there, Delschutzer. Would love to see it in those two forms, but that is releasing on the 26th. Next, we have Kith's Monday program also releasing on the 26th, but that is unconfirmed on what that is. What is confirmed is that we are getting Kith's BMW collection this Friday, the 23rd? 23rd. It's going to be huge. I'm looking to do probably a lookbook video, cover the, a streetwear talk video of the lookbook, as we don't actually know what's fully releasing until they release it. I won't be picking anything up from this collection, guys. As you can probably tell from this episode, I'm being a little bit more frugal with my money, just because I'm looking out there for like some really good pieces that I want to pick up. So yeah, don't think I'm going to pick anything up from it, but who knows, after I look at the lookbook, it may be different. That collection is dropping on the 23rd, and then on the 26th is obviously going to be the Monday program as well. Next, we have a collection that's releasing on the 24th, which I think is just absolutely amazing. I love it. It's amazing. It's some Japanese streetwear. They're doing Americana, doing college-styled styles. I absolutely love it. What we have is the Hysteric Glamour x Tokyo Vitamin Ice Cream Collection. Guys, I'm telling you, this collection is insane. We're getting some absolutely crazy pieces in this collection, and I want to pick it up. I hope the Japanese sizing is big enough. I don't know how much it's going to cost, but it is goddamn insane. So what we have is we have a series of varsity jackets releasing, and I love the graphics on them. They're thick, super awesome varsity jackets here. I would love to pick them up. Don't know which color I would want. The purple one's pretty wild. It's just awesome. It's just awesome. Whenever there's a varsity jacket, I'm in. We also have some hoodies that are releasing as well. The hoodies with the graphics on it, with these like sexualized women, I think, eating ice cream. I think like that's off the top of my head of what the graphics were. They were awesome. They were really well done. The art style was really cool. And then we move on, of course, if you don't like varsity jackets, if you don't like hoodies, you got some t-shirts as well with some graphics on the chest as well. It's an awesome collection. It's releasing on the 24th on their web store. So I hope you can read Japanese or you've got Google Chrome ready, because yeah, I don't know how the copying experience is going to be like that, copying from a Japanese store, but hopefully it's easy. But it is, yeah, it is just some sick pieces. I would love the varsity jacket. Hopefully they make them big enough for me, but that is everything. That is everything in upcoming streetwear and fashion releases, guys. So what we'll do now is we'll head on over to our final section that we have here, which is upcoming sneaker releases. Moving on to our final section, guys, we have section 8, upcoming sneaker releases. So to start it off with, we have Converse collaborating with Fen Hen Wang. This collaboration has been teased to us for a long time. It's actually like for about 8 months now. It's been a long time. What it is it's a pair of Chuck 70s done with this, like, how do I describe it? It's like a Chuck 70 with an outer layer of Chuck 70. It's a double Chuck 70. You get 2 Chuck 70s on each foot. It's crazy. It's awesome. It's very unique for a Converse collaboration. I actually really like it. This will be releasing today on the 22nd for $160 US. I think it'll be at Converse's web store. You'll have to shop around. Maybe some boutiques might have it as well. But I think this is cool. I love how the shoes look. It's a really unique take on the Converse Chuck 70s. Next, we have Nike and Comme des Garçons collaborating together on a deconstructed Air Force One, and wow, it is crazy. It's an Air Force One mid, comes in 2 colors, either all white or all black. Again, this is another collaboration that's been teased to us for about 8 months now, ever since Comme des Garçons has done their I can't even remember which collection walkway it was, but it featured those, and now we finally get to see them and get them released. So they are releasing on Dover Street Market. They may have potentially already released. The only downside is that they're releasing for $270 US, which is, woo, that's a bit wild. That's a bit wild for me. Some people aren't feeling them because they're just too deconstructed and too raw. I kind of like it though. It looks kind of cool. So having no refined edges and just having this unrefined raw look, I think it's really well done here, and I think it's really cool. The unique take on the Air Force Ones. Instead of just changing the colors, they've changed a lot. I really like it. I think it's cool. I would love a pair in the white, but they're not going to release in my size, and $270 US, unless they're going to say, hey Daniel, if you give us the 270 right now, we'll give you a size 16 or 17. I don't think I'm too interested in it, to be honest, but I think it is available now at Dover Street Market if you guys are interested. Moving on, we have another Pharrell collaboration with Adidas. They're collaborating on some NMD hues, the human race colorways is what they're calling them. On October 25th, this is releasing for $220 US. I really like the use of color on these NMDs here. It's just really solid. The tone of them is really nice on top of the color as well. These are actually quite nice. The past couple ones have been really bright, crazy, out there colors. But this one's got a really nice palette to it. I think it's really well done. But yeah, it's releasing on October 25th, so that is the Sunday if you guys are interested. Next, we have a Yeezy release, because it is Yeezy season. We have the Yeezy 350 V2 Naturals releasing on October 24th for the normal $220 US. I like this colorway. This colorway is nice. The color blocking on it is cool. It's just, we've kind of seen this kind of color combination 1,000 times before, so it's not really too surprising to me. It's nice. I think it's just going to go as like that's a cool release, and then we'll forget about it in like a month. But I just thought I'd bring it up just in case anyone was interested in it, or if anyone wanted them at all. But they're releasing for $220 USD on Saturday, October 24th. Now moving on, we have the Nike Supreme Air Max Plus TNs releasing a week later for $180 US. Now, if you figured that out, you're like, ooh, last week was when they released. So this week means today. Yes, today, October 22nd, they are releasing for $180 US. It's only the two colorways that released in Supreme store before. So the green ones and the black ones. The white ones are saved for November. But yeah, even Australia is getting them. We can't buy from Supreme. Australians can't buy from Supreme. But we can buy these TNs, and they are releasing on our store for a lot more than you'd want to pay for them. Or maybe not, maybe you love the TNs, but they're releasing for $180 USD on the American store and everything like that. Let me know if you guys are going to be picking those up when they release today in that comment section below. And last but not least, our final release that we're going to be covering for this week, we have Converse and Denim tiers collaborating for an anti-racist movements pack of Chuck 70s. So inspired by a bunch of anti-racist movements, Denim Tears is painting the colors of those movements, flags and symbols and stuff on Converse and doing some Chuck 70s for it. It's very well done. I don't know the retail price though. I was unable to find the retail price for them. They're releasing on October 22nd as well, so we're getting a lot of Converse collaborations releasing today. Definitely go check out the Converse store if you are interested in them. There's some cool colorways that are releasing in this pack. But that is it. That is everything. That concludes episode 8, guys. That is all the upcoming sneaker releases that I've got written down. That's all the upcoming streetwear releases, all the recent streetwear and fashion and sneaker releases, everything else that we've covered. Whew, what an episode. I want to hear from you guys. What was your favorite release that we've talked about in this episode? Were there any upcoming releases that you were super interested in? What was your hit on your feet this week as well? Let me know everything you have to say about anything that is mentioned in today's episode. Let me know down in that comment section below. And of course, guys, if you want to feature in Sunday's Best Dress, don't forget to forward your outfits to my Instagram DMs, and I'll definitely feature you in the next episode. Also, if you have any releases that we didn't cover in today's episode, put the release date, the retail price, and where to cop them from down in that comment section below if you guys feel like they're worth mentioning, or if, you know, people should be looking at them and, you know, picking them up and stuff like that. It was a very good episode. We had a lot to talk about, some crazy stuff. What do you guys feel about the top 3 big subjects that we talked about though? Warren Lotas getting sued by Nike, Jeff Hamilton releasing jackets again, Dunks getting a documentary. How do you guys feel about those top 3 big subjects there? Let me know everything you got to say about those 3 down in that comment section below. And of course, guys, if you guys want me to keep doing sneakers and stuff episodes, don't forget to leave a big old like on this video, a comment in the comment section down below, and a subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit a new milestone this month. We literally hit one of our big milestones, guys. We just hit 2,700 subscribers. I'm literally looking at it on my channel dashboard right now. I'm shook. I'm like, yes, we did it. And we wouldn't have done it without your support, guys. So I'd just like to say thank you so much for helping me reach 2,700. You guys are amazing. Hopefully we can hit some huge milestones in the future and beyond. We just got to keep grinding, keep trying. Hopefully we can hit our new milestone, because we're going to set us a new milestone. Hopefully we can hit a new milestone of 2,710 subscribers before the end of the month, guys. Share the channel around, and hopefully we can reach the milestone of 2,710 before the end of October. But that's everything I got to say for episode 8, guys. That's everything that I have written down to talk about. It was a lovely episode, lots to talk about. I really enjoyed episode 8. I will look forward to at least writing down and writing about episode 9 on Sunday. Hopefully I'll have it edited and uploaded on Sunday, but who knows, guys, who knows. But yeah, until the next sneaker talk episode, until the next streetwear talk episode, until the next sneakers and stuff episode, guys, I'll catch you later.